Is this the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life? Or is it actually genius? You see,
What is good, you guys, and welcome on another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are joining for the very first time, thank you as well for clicking on this video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Donald Trump's latest announcement. This announcement has sparked a lot of meltdown across the world, and it is even directing a conversation to pro-Palestinians that were so vocal that people should not vote for Kamala Harris. In the last 24 hours, Trump has announced that the United States is going to be taking over Gaza, that the people of Gaza will be displaced to places like Egypt and Jordan. And this has sparked a lot of conversation. He went on to say that Hamas are the ones who put them in that situation, so they are not going to be the one to be able to take over. And it's giving something like, since you guys cannot decide, we will decide for you guys and take over that land. He said all the houses has been demolished anyway. They are living under the concrete, which is not safe for them. The United States is going to step in and rebuild and claim the land. This has sparked a lot of conversation, a lot of reaction, you guys. I'm just going to jump right straight into.
So Donald Trump is not proposing an ethnic cleansing in Gaza. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. He wants the U.S. to take ownership of it, remove the people who are living there by force if needed to Egypt or Jordan. He wants to level it out and rebuild it to what he has called the Riviera of the Middle East. First and foremost, I want to say that this is not a fuck around and find out moment for the Palestinians living in Gaza, because they did not fuck around. They could not vote in this past presidential election. They could not go to the polls. They could not cast a mail-in ballot. But for the so-called pro-Palestinian activists who could participate in this past presidential election, are you ready to admit that the people of Gaza are finding out because you fucked around and spread so much misinformation? Y'all went on and on and on demonizing Kamala Harris, calling her a war criminal, saying that she never spoke up for the people of Palestine, saying that she never called for a ceasefire. Did y'all do any fucking research? If you did, you would see that she was one of the first people to push the White House to be more sympathetic towards Palestinians. This article is from December of 2023. Vice President Kamala Harris has been telling colleagues in the administration, namely Joe Biden being among these officials, that she wants the White House to show more concern publicly for the humanitarian damage in Gaza. March of 2024, Kamala Harris calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. July of 2024, Harris says she will not be silent about humanitarian toll in Gaza. And the reminder that Google is still free. Kamala Harris multiple times called for a ceasefire and a two-state solution. And I know what y'all are going to say. She only said those things because she was running for president. She wanted to look good. Mind you, the first article I showed you was from December of 2023, but okay, pop off, queen. Y'all didn't want to believe Kamala Harris. Y'all didn't want to listen to her. Who then should we listen to? The people of Gaza? Because the Palestinians in Gaza themselves said that they prefer Kamala Harris over Trump. You call yourself a pro-Palestinian activist and say that you care about the people of Gaza, so tell me why, instead of amplifying their voices, did you speak over them? I need your answer quickly. I think that y'all never thought that Trump was actually going to be reelected. Y'all thought that y'all could get on here, say whatever you wanted about Kamala Harris. She would still win the election, and then y'all could use her as your punching bag for the next 4 years. Y'all did not have a plan for if Trump got reelected, and that's why it is fucking crickets from you bitches now. You can try to maintain that you are innocent, that you played no part in Trump being reelected. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. Call it a J-Lo concert ticket, bitch. No one is fucking buying it. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
is this the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life? Or is it actually genius? You see, he's saying, you two cannot agree who owns the land. And this has been going on for time, bruv. So this is what we're going to do. We'll take the land. You don't want him to have it. You don't want him to have it. We'll take the land. So the U.S. is saying they're going to take over Gaza, and they're going to relocate all the people from Palestine to Jordan or Egypt, yeah? Let's put a pin in that. We need to come back to why Jordan are not going to take refugees, in my opinion. So is this the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life? Or is it kind of genius? Because it doesn't look like it's going to get settled any other way. Babies are born, they grow up to be men if they grow up at all. They grow up to be women, and they're used to kill each other. And how long are we going to be engaged in the same cycle? So you are either really excited about this plan, or you think that this is... What am I hearing? Is this real? What do you reckon?
Okay, last thing about this press conference with President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. First and foremost, what President Donald Trump said regarding Gaza was insane. How he said that, of course, Gazans wouldn't want to come back to Gaza. it's blown to smithereens. Like, there's nothing there. It looks terrible. You even heard the reporter screaming, like, yeah, because y'all blew it up. By y'all, I mean Israel. Y'all, Netanyahu was right there. He was like, yeah, they shouldn't want to come back. We'll find some space for them in Iran, not Iran, excuse me, Jordan, Egypt, somewhere where we'll build a nice town, nice community where they'll want to live. Then he gonna say, he said, I've seen every picture from every angle. Better than if I would have been there myself. I know there are high quality pictures that can capture aerial photos that, you may not be able to see if you go there. But to say pictures look better than if you would go and see the rubble and destruction firsthand, that was wild, DT. And then how are you going to say you're going to build Gaza up to be an incredibly nice place, but then also tell Gazans they don't want to come back due to it being destroyed? What sense does that make? And the whole time he's saying this, Netanyahu's just sitting there like, that's my boy. Get him, DT. Tell him. Tell him. Just imagine you're the leader of a country that wants a piece of an area. You blow it to smithereens and then tell the people who were living there why you were blowing it up, saying, yeah, you don't want to come back here. It's disgusting. It's destroyed. It's all rubble. There's nothing here. But then also a leader of another powerful country is saying, yeah, they shouldn't want to live here, but we're going to build some beautiful homes, a beautiful place where people can come visit from all across the world. But they can't live there no more. That probably was the wildest part of this whole press conference. They kind of held two. One press after the meeting in the Oval Office, and then the other one was an actual press conference where they were standing up behind podiums answering questions. But whew, I understand Israel's one of our strongest allies as far as loyalty goes, but I do not know what Israel has for us. I know they're our strongest partners in the Middle East, but I do not know what tethers us to them. That one, Netanyahu is the first world leader to come to America during Trump's current term. But what is it about this relationship where we are so tied, as if we don't have this relationship with Israel, what happens? Like, why is this shit so, I don't know, like, why does it seem like we have to have this relationship in order to thrive or strive as a country? I don't get it. But I'm not going to lie. Regardless of how you feel about the Palestinian / Israel conflict, whatever you want to call it, that press conference, that was nasty work. Can't even cap you down.
Just reading some of the things that Donald Trump has said about Gaza. He said that the US can take over Gaza and the displaced Palestinians should be housed in either Jordan or somewhere else like Egypt. He says that the US is looking for a long-term ownership position of Gaza. They want to turn Gaza into a Riviera of the Middle East. He said, and I quote, that people should not go back there. Instead, go to one of the neighboring countries where they can live and not die. These were the words of the president himself. Not only Gaza, there's going to be a statement on the West Bank itself as well. He said, I do like the idea of Israel claiming sovereignty over the land there, but they have not taken any positions yet, and they'll be decided in the next few weeks or so. So, in essence, US is trying to wipe out all the Palestinians that are living in the area, West Bank and Gaza. Call it ethnic cleansing, call it occupation, illegal occupation, or call it whatever. This is against any nations. Even UK, for example, the allies are also saying that this is absolutely ridiculous.
So Trump pretty much is going to take over the Gaza Strip. And I just don't understand, like, how much more do y'all want to take from these people? To call someone's home a demolition site, like, I'm really trying not to cry, because I don't understand how much more are you guys going to take from these people. I have to literally find my voice in order to say what I need to say, because y'all really hate these people, and it is so heartbreaking to watch. It's so heartbreaking to watch, and it's so heartbreaking to watch so many black people say what they said about turning it into a parking lot, because it's like the same hatred that people have towards them. I see it in the world and how they treat us, and this world is evil. Like, I just don't know what choice would have been the right choice. I really don't, because no one wants to save these people. And I'm not the type to cry on the internet, but this is some sad shit. Like, y'all literally will not leave these people alone. And I can't comprehend the way people just overlook the Congo, the way people just overlook Sudan. Like, the world is hurting. And at this point, I don't know what steps to take.
This might be controversial, and I'm okay with that if it is. But Palestinian people are not your bargaining chips, and they're not gotchas. They are people who were on the receiving end of a genocide. Full stop. Every scenario, they lost. Every scenario. I just really hate the way that people talk about Palestinians on here, bro. And it's become harder to even like engage in the conversation, because if it's not like the quote unquote liberals or the people who voted for Kamala saying this is what y'all get, it's the leftists saying like it doesn't matter like if we voted for Kamala or not. This was always what's, and that's just not. Both sides need to like take a step back and just recognize that we're losing focus. The focus is that the people have been harmed. Same is happening in the Congo. Same is happening in Sudan. There's bigger fish to fry, and it's not like our egos. I don't know. It's just really weird to me, and sometimes it makes me want to disengage from these conversations overall, because it's just like, if this is what it resorts to, where y'all worry about the wrong shit, I don't know what to tell y'all. And I do think there's a legitimacy to the need to strategize. There is. And some of you are refusing to do that because it's either your way or nothing else. Make of that what you will. And that goes for everybody involved. Everybody. I don't know. We need to tighten up.
What do you guys think? It is getting serious, and at the end of the day, the people in Palestine are at the receiving end of it. Do you think Jordan is going to accept refugee from Palestine? Do you think they are going to allow those people in? Because I've been seeing articles as well throwing that question around that. Since the announcement, do you think Jordan is going to allow the people of Palestine into their land? Let me hear what you guys think. People who had won the pro-Palestine that were pushing for votes for Trump are online saying, you know what? Where are you guys now? Because we need you guys to be so bold. There was even a particular creator that I have noticed her name come up in every single comment section of people calling out pro-Palestine that thought that Trump was going to do a change for the people of Gaza. Talk, and this lady's name is always in the comment section because she was so loud and even calling out influencers line who are campaigning for Kamala Harris. She was literally shitting on people campaigning for Kamala Harris. But at the end of the day, even with the back and forth, the people of Palestine are the one at the receiving end of all of this. So let me hear what you guys think. It's really sad. This person said, you all can't match. He didn't win because of Maya. He didn't win because of Justin. He didn't win because of Palestine. He won because this is what Americans have sown for your country. The same creator that I said is always in the comment section is the one with the name Maya, because a lot of people will keep dropping their name on the comment section of people calling out pro-Palestine that were campaigning for Trump. This other person said this was always going to be the outcome, regardless of who got into the office. This is another comment that I notice is very common. This line specifically is very common in the comment section. A lot of people are saying this. Do you agree with this? And yes, that includes Houston. The only difference is it would have been covered up better than what Trump is able to do. Another one said, take ownership. Then there will be no Palestine. Exactly. They just eradicate one of the whole civilization, ethnic cleansing, land grabbers, modern day colonization in this century. Scary times. It is what it is, and that was what the very first did talk about. Like, it's basically just ethnic cleansing. Like, there's no need to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. This one said, laughing at all the Americans that voted for Trump or refused to vote for Kamala because they said Trump will help Palestine. Hope they're feeling like fools now. The last one I have here said, this was always the plan. 70% of buildings were demolished by Biden under the guise of looking for Hamas. Let me hear what you guys think about this announcement. Did you see this coming? And to be honest, I've seen so many creators said this is probably going to happen if he wins, because that was one of the points that they were bringing up to, attack the people saying, oh, don't vote for don't vote for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, their government right now is funding the genocide and all of that. That was a comeback. I always like, you guys thought that if Trump should get into the office, it's going to be anyway better for the people of Palestine. Now, let's find out. Let me hear what you guys think in the comment section. I will catch you guys in the next one.